My name is Siddharth. I am Superintendent of Police, Kurnool District, and we have the presentation that I'm about to make now is called. The project is called Project TATA. TATA is an acronym, abbreviation. It stands for Trainings and Activities for Technology Adoption. So basically, this whole initiative is designed to produce a tech-savvy, future-ready police force. The problem is that at present, when we undertook this project, very few policemen, hardly one or at the most two in every police station. Only about a total of 5 to 6% of the police force in the district were given training in technology tools, IT tools, applications, police computer applications, and they were not very proficient at using it. So the entire IT burden, the entire technology skills, the entire computer skills in the department were limited only to about 5% of the people, and 95% of the people, human resources in the department, were not doing those kinds of duties which required IT skills and computer expertise. That was a big productivity bottleneck. So we wanted to change that. We were facing a lot of challenges because of that. We were not, our files were not being uploaded on time. Our data entry was suffering. We were not able to make good use of the databases. And there are a lot of police computer applications like CCTNS, Crime and Criminal Tracking Networking System, ICJS, Integrated Criminal Justice System. So there are many computer applications. There are these investigation tools, many tools related to investigation, which help you find an offender, find a criminal. So we were not able to make use of all this, and our productivity was suffering. So the idea behind launching this project was to train 100% of the force. There should not be any IT team. There should not be any IT core team. Right now, the concept was IT core team of about 5 to 10 members in the district headquarters. We didn't want only one team to be an IT team which can do computer and IT related tasks. We wanted everyone to be familiar with it at least, and many people to be proficient with it, expert with it. So that's why we launched this program. And essentially, it was a series of classroom trainings, workshops, hands-on practical training, and then mentorship by existing experts. So this was in a nutshell, this was what was done. Essentially, it's a capacity building initiative. So there were already, as I told you, there were some productivity issues. I mean, our pendency of cases had become very high because of this productivity bottleneck. Because in every station, once a case is investigated, the entire record of the case has to be digitized, and we didn't have enough people for that. So our pendency of cases was going up. In fact, it was the highest in the state. Property crime detection rate was not very good. Again, these criminal databases were not updated. We were not able to use and the search function in many of these enterprise search and criminal intelligence system search. We were not doing that properly. Only the important cases were getting focused upon, and only in those very important cases, full tools available at our disposal were being used. And then there was other challenges we were facing, sir, because usually people have a sort of a tech phobia, especially at the lower subordinate level. People think that if they get trained, they will get fixed up for that job and all the burden will come on them. That sort of very defensive mindset was there. And this entire program, we did it. It was a district level initiative. We didn't have any specific budget allotted for this. We didn't have any standard curriculum to refer to, and no customized training infrastructure for this. So we had to do all of this from scratch. We took this initiative to bring all of these things together to make this work. Essentially, the process followed was that we took all the constables, all the head constables in the district, and we mapped out their skill. We mapped out their existing level of proficiency in computer applications. We divided them into three groups. One was the advanced group, the other one was the intermediate, other one was the elementary group. Many people, to our pleasant surprise, had technical qualification. Many people had BTech degrees, but even then, they were not doing the computer-related work in the police station. They were not using that skill. Of course, majority people didn't have technical qualification, but they were good enough. They were good enough to be trained. So that's why we divided them into three groups, and then with the priority, we developed a curriculum also. So the curriculum also was developed in-house. We listed out all the police computer applications that we need to use, all the basic productivity applications. Even PowerPoint and Word and Excel were not known to majority of the people. That also was taught. And then a lot of specific police applications, police databases, all of that was done. And then e-office. I mean, the Government of India has sponsored the e-office in all government establishments in the country. So e-office also was not being run here in the Kurnool district police. Not run efficiently. Not all files were being routed through e-office. So that also we provided. And then intelligence and some open source tools also. There are many intelligence tools which are open source, which help you to track down the identity of the criminal, find out their photographs. So those kind of tools were not known to most of the constables. So we had this comprehensive training curriculum prepared, and we got the people and we started training them on these. It was a lot of effort to do so. I mean, as I said initially, there was a lot of fear and uncertainty and hesitation amongst the staff also. Not many were willing to come forward and do it, but we had to create incentives, and we had to do that. And as we started progressing, as the people started getting trained and then being sent back to the police station, automatically people saw the benefit. The station house officers saw the biggest benefit. Prior to this, only one person, the entire station dependent on one person for all these kind of works. Now he got an extra man initially, and then extra 2 people, then extra 3 people. So it really made station house management very, very efficient from an SHO's point of view as well. So we got all the stakeholders to participate in this. And as I told you, we didn't have any dedicated or allocated budget for this. So we took stakeholders from everywhere. I mean, we asked engineering college professors to come and take a class in between. We asked the software vendors for giving us licenses to train our people and to let them have a hands-on feel for the softwares. We have a local forensic science laboratory here. So we requested the scientists from this laboratory to come and teach our people how to handle electronic evidence in cybercrime. So this way we got stakeholder support, and we did that. We even got some computers donated from a local engineering college in our training center to augment the capacity. So in batches of 25, we started doing it. We put in place some incentives also. Whoever did well, we gave them awards. All the trainees who did a good job, we gave them awards. We made sure that they were motivated, they were recognized. This program was well appreciated. It led to significant improvements. It's an ongoing thing, sir. It is still going on. Our aim is to have 100% technology savvy, tech savvy police force. So we've already gotten to about 60 to 70% now. So we'll soon be at 100%. So we'll possibly be the first district to do so, to have every single constable trained in use of technology, not just using the lathi, but using the laptop with as much comfort as a lathi or a gun. So essentially, already we're up to 64% as the exact figure. And one good, very encouraging result was that pendency of cases came down. We had 22,000 pending cases last year in the beginning, highest in the state of AP. Today we have only 2,200, lowest in the state of AP. From the highest to the lowest, we went. This also is a result of some other training programs also that we ran, but this training program also contributed. And recovery rate of property increased a lot. So I told you that we have open source intelligence tools and criminal intelligence systems where we can search for criminals, we can search for their particulars information. It helps in detecting. So the stolen property recovery rate went up from 25% to 72%. We could only recover 25% prior to this last year. This year, the recovery rate stands at 72%. And the number of days it takes to digitize the investigation record has come down. It used to be 144 days. It's come down to 64. And similarly, the grievance petition also, the petition that we get from citizens for their grievance, that also has to be inquired into. Action has to be taken. It has to be again digitized and uploaded into CCTNS. So that also updation and digitization rate has improved dramatically from 30 days to 7 days. And because now we have some technically savvy manpower available, we are able to launch new IT-based services for the public. So as a follow-up, as one of the direct benefits of this training program, we have been able to launch something called Citizen Mobile Tracking Service, which allows the people to get their missing or stolen mobile phone tracked without coming to the police station, without having any FIR, nothing of that sort. Just simply log on to the website, submit the complaint, and we do it. So we created that portal. And then we have something called KSC, Kurnool Safe City. That also was a direct result of having this technically trained manpower, whereby we allowed people to, we enabled people to request for police patrolling in their areas, again, without coming to the police station, without doing anything, just a portal. We created a portal. People can go there and say that, in my area, this antisocial activity is going on. From this time to this time, we want police presence, police patrol, and we do that then. So these kind of citizen portals, these IT-enabled platforms, we were able to create as a result of having a technically trained manpower. So paper use has reduced. As I said, e-office use has increased a lot. Now, most of our files are routed through e-office. So we've seen benefits a lot. So this is, as I said, so it's a stakeholder approach. It's a district level initiative where we took all the stakeholders on board. We didn't have any dedicated budget, but we raised resources. We raised support. We took support, and we did it. It can be done in every district. It's not a difficult thing. If we were able to do it here in Kurnool, definitely it can be replicated other places also. And I'm very sure that we will continue to see the results, ultimately, because it's a capacity building initiative. This initiative itself, the objective is to build capacity. And because of the newly built capacity, we will see many gains in the standard of service and protection that we offer to the citizens. So that was the basic work here. So thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Very good initiative. In fact, police has now to be more tech savvy, because the criminals have gone ahead in using of the technology, whether it is cyber crime or hiding the evidence, removing the proof. All these techniques are adopted by them. CCTV camera, CCTNS project you have mentioned in your and filing FIR online, using face tagger for criminal identification. These are all technology. My view is that at least you have to keep this initiative alive for 3-4 years. Then only it will bring a perfect result.
Yes, sir. You're right, sir. Absolutely. It has to sustain, sir. It has to sustain, and it will take that much time. So you're right. I agree with you. At least 3-4 years will mean that the capacities are fully established and the working environment and the culture has changed. That is correct, sir.
Definitely, sir. Because training by professors and all that is true. But when they will do it by their own hands, then only perfection will come. Because it is unique to them. It is not theoretical fully. It is partly theoretical, but fully by practice itself. Correct, thank you, sir. All the appreciation for the excellent, outstanding, brilliant job you have done.
Thank you, sir.
Job is really good, sir. but I think it should be done in a more professional way. There should be some budget allocated to this activity, because nowadays the things are very dynamic in nature in computer world. So I think more professionalism is required for capacity building.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
sir. We have written to the government for that, sir. So we wanted to. We have this is like almost like a pilot project, sir. We have done it in the district, and we have submitted our report to the government. Now, once the government is satisfied that this is a good concept, we expect the budget also to come from next year onwards, sir. It will be hopefully it will be replicated statewide as a result of the pilot that was done here, sir.
Okay, all the best to you.
Thank you, sir. Going to present, sir, is Project GEO. It stands for Junior Investigation Officers. The concept, sir, Junior Investigation Officer is a concept which basically we have again taken it up as a pilot basis. Again, this is not something that is being done elsewhere. We have taken the initiative, and we hope to demonstrate the proof of concept by this. So this junior investigation officer stands is a term that we coined for all the subordinate staff, basically the head constables and the ASIs, who we envisioned will do professional and competent investigations. So here I'll have to give a little background, sir. Normally in the police, all over the country, I have seen that we have a system whereby investigations are usually done by, practically speaking, investigations are done by sub-inspectors or inspectors for all majority of the cases. And definitely in Andhra Pradesh, that is the trend. Very, very few head constables and ASIs actually do proper investigation work, even where they are listed as the investigation officer officially on record. Actually, the work is done by the sub-inspector or the inspector or the SHO, and they only put their signature on the file as a formality. Reason being that most of the head constables and ASIs, the subordinate ranks, they're not very skilled with the aspects of investigations like drafting, particularly drafting, because they're weak in drafting because they've never done that. As constables, they never do drafting. As constables, they will usually be in the field. They'll be doing crime work. They'll be doing general duty, traffic work, etc. But they will not learn how to draft. And to be extremely honest, drafting is a skill which is not even at a very high level, even amongst officers. I mean, drafting is a investigation record. I mean, we know that we have regularly, unfortunately, we witness courts commenting on the quality of investigation quite often. One of the reasons for that is that, generally speaking, we are a little poor in drafting. We are good in field work. The police, usually speaking, Indian police is good in field work, but a little poor in record work, drafting. So that is why usually only the sub-inspectors and the inspectors, slightly senior officers, handle all investigations. And except for some petty cases, non-cognizable offences, petty cases, head constables and ASIs don't really do that. So we wanted to change this because, as I already pointed out, that as per the law, the CRPC, the Criminal Procedure Code, head constable is competent to investigate case. There is no bar on that. So if we calculate as per that competency, we have almost 500 head constables and ASIs in the district, whereas SIs and CIs are only 60 to 70. So very few people in the district police were actually doing investigation work, actual case investigation, doing the investigation, detecting the case, building up the record, gathering evidence, putting it on file, filing the charge sheet. This was being done by very few people, only by officers and rarely by somebody below the rank of SI. And this was again a very big productivity bottleneck. The same way we identified that only about 5 to 6% of the police force constables are technology trained, we also identified that very few eligible investigation officers, that is head constables and above, very few of them are actually doing any investigation work, and they are simply doing general duty. So it is a wrong thing for the department as well as for the police force. I mean, they don't get to utilize and develop their talent, and we also lose out on responsible decision making. And SHO gets burdened. SHO gets burdened with investigation load, and he can't look after then law and order. If the SHO of a station has to do investigation all the time, and he's simply building up record and he's clearing, he's building up files, then he cannot move around in the field. He cannot take care of law and order and political issues and all the other very, very urgent things which an SHO has to deal with on a daily basis. So we wanted to create a system whereby all these potential human resources, these potential investigation officers are also trained, and they actually start doing the investigation and help in effective station house management. That will lead to overall improvement in all aspects of policing. So this was the basic concept here, that we created this designation for them called Junior Investigative Officer, JIO, to distinguish them from sub-inspectors and inspectors. And then we developed very, very practical, hands-on kind of a training program for them. And we started training them. And today I'm happy to say that all the junior investigation officers in the district are fully trained, and they're actually doing investigations. We were lucky to have a resource person available in-house in this matter. We had a officer who was trained in training design. So we were able to create a very scientific training program and put the people through the training program. That was, again, as I said, so that was one of the reasons why we were able to reduce the investigation pendency also, because earlier only 70 to 80 people in the entire district were doing investigations, and now we have a situation where 300, 400 people are doing investigations. So that kind of a scenario change has come about. In this also, so a lot of classroom training, of course, but practical hands-on training was more emphasized. We took people to the actual crime scene. We taught them how to draft the Panchnama. And then one senior officer, SI or a CI, was made a mentor to the junior officers in the jurisdiction. They used to have that. We have experts from other departments like revenue department, medical officers coming and teaching our JIOs regarding the nuances of investigation. If you can actually see if you can see the slide on the left, sir, on the right side of the slide, you see like a court. You can see some court is visible and the lawyers are standing. So we created a mock court also, sir, in our training center. We actually created a mock court. We actually got the lawyers and the public prosecutors to come, and we not only trained them in investigation, but we also trained them in prosecution, how to defend your investigation in the court, because ultimately our conviction rate is low and everything goes to the court and it fails over there. So we not only trained our junior investigation officers in performing investigation, but also defending their investigation in the court. We got a lot of cooperation from the public prosecutors, the legal advisors, advocates of the Bar Association here in Kurnool. They were very, very kind enough to, every week on Saturday, they would come and attend the mock court that we set up for this purpose. A lot of focus was put on this. So exact figures, as I said, only 87 people were doing investigations, and now that has gone up to 375. That is a very, very radical change that has come about. We designed the program also in such a manner that each batch, 25 people were put in one particular batch, and then they were split up into different groups, 5 groups, and each group then was put through modules, and there was a lot of subject-wise discussion on the different facets of investigation. Senior investigation officers from the field, by rotation, every senior officer in the district by rotation went and took a session every day with the geo training. All those drafting of FIR, preparation of case diaries, recording of statements, seizure, everything was done, and every aspect of investigation. So by the time people were completing the training program, they had completely handled from the report, from the FIR to the trial, complete process of the case investigation. This kind of training is not even given when they go to the police academy. Even you can see the photograph on the slide. So this is the court that we set up. So I myself used to personally attend the trial day when the junior investigation officers were defending their investigation in front of the court. We used to have defense advocates grilling them on various mistakes that they make, and we used to discuss all the lapses, and that's how it was accomplished. In this, one of the important aspects that we had to overcome, sir, was again we had to create these the training equipment, implements, aids, classrooms, etc. They all had to be set up, and then we also had to make some administrative changes, because in the police station, naturally speaking, if you see the list of investigation of cases and the allocation to officers, in every police station you will have 80 to 90% of the cases allocated only to 1 or 2 or 3 people at the most. So that administrative procedure had to be changed. We had to ensure that all the people who are trained must actually be given cases to investigate. So then those procedures had to be put in place. Monitoring had to be done daily. And over time, it was ensured that all the people, not only 2 or 3 people in every station, but pretty much every eligible person in every station does case investigation. So we got our senior officers also involved in the program. We used to have regular interactions. And again, like we did in the previous project Tata, here also, sir, we introduced incentives. We gave them awards. We gave them best performance awards. We recognized the good work. We recommended their name for even Seva Pathakams, which are the medals, which are medals for meritorious service. Whoever did well, those were done. So again, all the benefits that were attained, the performance of the district really improved, and it was basically due to these 2 training programs. One is Tata, which trained the constables specifically in technology application, use of technology, police computer applications, and the other one being Geo, which trained the head constables and the ASIs in case investigations, in investigation work, actual investigation work, investigation record. These 2 projects combined have really helped us improve our figures, improved our performance, do justice to the people faster. And the improvement has been dramatic, sir. It has been dramatic, as I told you, from the last place in the state, from 26 out of 26. We are today in the first out of 26 as a result of these capacity building initiatives. And Project Tata is still happening. About 64% of the force is already trained, but Geo has already happened, sir. 100% of the people are now trained in investigation. They're actually doing the investigations on the ground. Prior to this project, hardly you would have seen 20 to 25% of the charge sheets or the investigations being done by officers below the rank of SI. Now, 90% of the investigations in the district are being done by officers below the rank of SI. Once again, sir, that at the level of the police station, it frees up the SHO. The SHO is the linchpin of the policing system in India. Anything that empowers the SHO, that will directly lead to improvement in effectiveness and efficiency of police. Anything which does not help the SHO, at the higher level, we can introduce any amount of reform or technology or novelty. But unless the SHO at the ground level is empowered by our intervention, it will not reach the public. So because of this, sir, the SHO's investigation burden has gone down. Now again, he's not bogged down with files and file work and record work, and he can attend to the public. He can go for field visiting. He can do that kind of focused work, and this has really helped us in that respect. And here I must acknowledge the support we got from the judiciary, sir. The district judge was very kind, and the public prosecutor was very kind. They spared their valuable time every week for us to make sure that our people are trained well in the court procedure, because ultimately that's where we ultimately lack there somehow. So this project already has been completed here, sir, and this has been appreciated, and hopefully this also will be replicated in the coming year. The report from our side has already gone to the HOD. So this was in a nutshell the project Geo, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kaushal, for initiating another capacity building program of the police services. But as in the management colleges, you know it very well that we rely a lot on training of the students about reading case studies. You might have some model investigation reports. Please share them with these junior officers so that they can read and appreciate the work done by police forces and how they draft, so that they can overcome their capacity building and appreciate those points which can be withstood by in the court. So I think that will also help a lot.
That's a wonderful point, sir. In fact, that is one of the cornerstones of our program, sir. We did one case file, one model case file for every crime, sir. So we did one for accident, one for writing, one for murder. We did for all major crime heads. We had a model case file selected, and it was approved by me personally, sir. And then it was given to our people. And we translated it in Telugu also. In fact, I took special permission from the district judge to have the case record prepared in Telugu to enable the junior officers to file the investigation record in the vernacular language. So we are absolutely right, sir. That is the most effective way, because they can more or less, it is the same, sir. In every case, the record work will be roughly similar. The names will change, the dates will change, the places will change, but the pattern will be similar. So that model case file concept is actually most important. It must be done, sir. And that is what we also found to be most effective, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, please.
Good work, sir. No specific question. Thank you.
Now, so the first two presentations were about capacity building, sir. And it is because of those two capacity building initiatives that we have been able to take and introduce new citizen services in our district. In fact, this particular citizen service that I'm going to talk about, CMTS, is a whole new service that we have been able to introduce for the people. And I'm very happy to say, sir, that it is now working in all districts of Andhra Pradesh. After we introduced it in Kurnool district, it was appreciated, and immediately the government decided to implement this in all the districts. So the idea is very simple, sir. This is Citizen Mobile Tracking Service. Essentially, the situation was that the citizens, when they lose their mobile phone, they found it very difficult to get it back. And they found it very difficult to lodge a complaint in a police station and to get an FIR done. And as a result, almost no recoveries of cell phones was happening. It was almost zero, sir, before this project. The reasons are many, unfortunate, some of them, that at the police station level, the SHOs are very, very overburdened with hardcore crime work, law and order duties, and many other urgent issues which come on a daily basis. So they were not able to prioritize or focus upon complaints of missing mobiles or stolen mobiles. And they were hesitant. People were not registering FIRs on these complaints because they didn't want the crime figure to go up. Because we have, if we had started registering FIRs for each mobile reported lost, it would have added thousands of cases to the already very, very unmanageable crime burden that that is there at the field level. So a solution had to be found for that situation, sir. So that's what we decided. So we came up with the idea of a CMTS, a citizen service called Citizen Mobile Tracking Service, by which anybody can get his mobile traced and tracked by the police without going to the police station, without registering any case, without any criminal investigation. Straight away, we will take the information. We will create a portal, an IT-enabled portal, which is accessible free of cost to anybody from anywhere, and they just have to give us some basic details, and we will do the work. We will trace the mobile phone, we will track it, and we will hand it over back to the citizen. No need to go to any place at all. No police station, no SP office, no petitions, nothing. Just log on to the portal, submit your detail, and we do the work, and we call you to our police office, and we hand over the mobile phone back to you. So you can see the photograph. That is about 1,000 people. This was 2 months back, sir. About 1,000 people, we invited them. And we invite every month almost now, sir. Every 6 weeks or so, we invite about 1,000 people. And we hand them over their mobile phones back. And it is a very simple but very, very effective service that we were able to provide, sir. Basically, as I said, the basic problem is that almost nowhere in the country does the police freely and readily register FIR if you go with a mobile loss report. So that's why a workaround had to be found. So we bypassed the entire bureaucratic and the legal process and the criminal process and created a very convenient service for the people. Just come, tell us, and we trace the phone and hand it back to you. So you can see the photo, sir. That is one beneficiary. They come like this. We hand them over on a particular day. They all feel very happy because loss of mobile phone is a very, very traumatic experience for anybody, sir. You know that all the data, all the contacts, everything goes in that. So prior to this, there was no channel to do this with the citizens at all. So this was a new service altogether and a major instance of government process re-engineering or business process re-engineering, as you would call it. There used to be something called Me Seva Center. I mean, it is there in different states by different names. Seva Kendra kind of a thing where people can go and lodge a report and wait for action to happen. So thousands of reports had been lodged in Me Seva Kendras, but none of them, not even 1%, had been traced because it was not being taken seriously at the police station level, and people had to pay some 100 rupees challan to even lodge the complaint. We created a free of cost software to do it, free of cost portal, and people started complaining. And that's when we realized that so many mobiles are being lost every day, sir. So first 6 months while I was here in this district, I don't remember a single FIR being registered or a single case of missing mobile being reported by us. After we started this project, already almost 6,000 mobile phones have been traced by us. We have traced, recovered, and handed over almost 6,000 mobile phones to people in just a few months, in 4 or 5 months' time that we have been running this service. You can see, sir, we do this. You can see those mobile phones are laid out. So we do this every 6 weeks or so. We gather about 1,000 recovered mobile phones and call people to do it. I've displayed the link on the screen. You just have to click that and submit your details. In 6 months prior to this program, only 51 mobile phones were recovered. In the 5 months that we have done the project, almost 6,000 phones have already been recovered, sir. And the very interesting bit is not only citizens of Kurnool district. Once people got to know, so we did some social media campaign, people got to know that Kurnool police is recovering mobiles. From all other districts, they started complaining to us, sir. they started giving us, started going to Kurnool Police website and giving us the details. And we also started tracing. We also did not say that, you are from other district to go to the other district police. We started getting requests from other states also, sir. We started getting requests from Telangana also in some cases. We started recovering that also. So we recovered phones from Kerala, from Maharashtra, from Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, West Bengal, a lot of places. This service became very viral very, very quickly because it was so easy and there is no barrier. You don't have to ask anybody. Just log in, give us the details, and we start doing the job, sir. So very, very simple concept. We created this portal, and data management was done by our own team. All we were able to do this because Project Tata has given us the technically trained manpower to take care of all these issues, sir. We have set up teams in the background to take care of all this. Otherwise, repeatedly, it was a common experience to roam around the police station repeatedly without any relief. And I have felt it myself, sir, when I was a student, when I was preparing for civil services in Delhi. At the time, I had also lost my mobile phone. I ran around the police station 3-4 times, and I gave up after that. Simply, I gave up hope. I didn't even go after that. So that experience was also there in my mind when we did this. So the project is very simple, sir. Front end is a website. It's a web portal, and where anybody can log in, give the details. Back end is our lab, our technical lab, where we do the technical analysis to trace the phone. And then there is a executive end, the field end, where the recovery team will move around and recover the phone from wherever it is. So we conduct recovery mela. So what we call recovery mela. You can see the photographs are in this. Some 1,000-odd people are sitting in the tents, under the tents. So these shamiyanas, we erect them. In our district police office, we put shamiyanas, we invite the people. They feel very happy. They share their happiness and success stories with the public. We do this roughly once in every 1.5 months or so. In fact, I think in another 1 week, we'll do another one, sir. It's already 900 mobiles have been recovered. So once we cross 1,000, then we call people and hand it over to them. They feel very happy. It improves the image of the police in their minds. They also don't expect, sir. I mean, now, of course, they've started expecting that Kurnool Police will do it. But initially, they never expected. There were times when they lost a phone while they were in Tirupati or they were in Hyderabad or Chennai. And within a week, we were able to trace it and hand it over back to them. So they used to be overwhelmed when they used to come to us. That somebody is calling them, asking them, inviting them and giving them the phone. Whereas prior to this, it was a trauma to just roam around, sir. We keep on getting people. We take these photographs so that people feel good. Again, sir, this is no allocated budget for this. We manage with whatever the resources we have. We try to make the best use of available resources, and we created this service. And it has been very heartening, sir, that almost every district in Andhra Pradesh now is running this. And we got good cooperation from everybody. We even spoke to the courier people here, the local couriers here, DTDC and a couple of others. They were also kind enough to ship the mobile phone for free. So if somebody is not available in Kurnool and we have traced the mobile phone, free of cost, we are even getting it couriered to that person at his house. So that also we were able to do, sir. So this has been a very, very personally very satisfying initiative for me, sir, because I see how delighted people are to get their mobile phone back. So we keep on doing it. Every time we do it in batches of 1,000. So every time around 1,000 phones are gathered, and then this recovery mela is conducted and people get their mobile phones back. Another 1,000 when they are collected, we again conduct the recovery mela. So this last time, you can see the picture, sir. We got these 1,000 people to stand in the formation of Kurnool District Police, and we took a drone photograph. And we gave it to all of them wanted this photograph. So we took this photograph and then we gave it to all of them through WhatsApp. Everybody has this photograph. They like it and they share it on social media. So we keep on doing this at the cost at every interval of about 1,000 recovered devices. So this is the simple, sir, but very convenient and a totally new citizen service which did not exist prior to this. So this is what we have been doing. It got a lot of coverage also, sir. A lot of national media also covered it. People called us from all these big papers, Times of India and everywhere. Even BBC Telugu also, they also called us and found out about it. Many officers from other states also called us, sir, and they found out as to how we are doing, what we are doing, and we shared them. We shared what we have done, and I'm sure that in next 1 year or so, you'll probably have this all over the country, sir, because it's very simple. Everybody can do it, and there is so much benefit to the people of doing such a thing. So this was the work, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kaushal sir. It is a very simple, humble, but most usable, most useful project you have implemented. I wish that it should be implemented across the country, and you can share it with whosoever you like in the government for its replication across the states. Thank you, sir.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Yes, it's a good work. Nowadays, technology is available, and we should use these type of technologies for recovery or theft or mobile. Not only mobile, but other things as well. So I wish you all the best. Thank you. No specific question.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. You're right, sir. I mean, the thing is, our people do a good job, sir. Whenever a theft happens, they will do a good job. If a FIR is registered, they will do a good job. 100% they will find out who has done it. But with mobile phones, the problem is nobody registers FIR, sir. That is the problem. Everybody is afraid of that. So that's why we have to bypass that.
The key over here is the use of technology. The technology is, if we deploy technology for some useful purpose, then it makes sense.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir. Thank you. This is Kurnool Safe City, sir. Of course, I'm SP Kurnool district. So the Kurnool district headquarters is Kurnool city. So this is this work refers to the steps we have taken for city policing for Kurnool city. This doesn't apply to the entire district. This is about Kurnool city. The basic concept here, sir, to just first give a conceptual understanding is that there is a difference between district policing and city policing. There's a difference between rural policing and urban policing. So you have, that is why you have systems of commissionerates. You have all cities, all major cities have police commissionerates. You have like Delhi or Hyderabad or Visakhapatnam, Vijayawada, for example. Whereas rural areas where the cities are not very big and spread out rural areas have regular superintendent of police SP-led setup. So our attempt, sir, in here is that, of course, Kurnool is a district police setup. It's not a commissionerate, but we wanted to offer commissionerate kind of standard of policing, standard of services. We wanted to offer urban policing model in Kurnool city. Kurnool today is not a million+ city, but in future it will become, sir. Kurnool today is around 6.5 to 7 lakhs. It is the 4th largest town in Andhra Pradesh or city in Andhra Pradesh. Days to come, definitely in maybe another 7 to 8 years, it is likely to cross 10 lakhs because of fast population growth, migration from other areas. So we wanted to be a step ahead of the curve and introduce urban policing standards and urban police's practices in Kurnool city. So essentially trying to raise the standard of professionalism, trying to raise the standard of safety and security in the city and modeling it on other existing commissionerate systems like Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam and Hyderabad so far as we are concerned. So that was the basic concept, sir, of having this project called Kurnool Safe City. So in this, we wanted to, we covered a few key areas of policing, which urban standards are much better and higher than the regular rural standard or the district standards. Kurnool Safe City focused on 3 pillars basically. One is night safety, odd hours safety. So this is very important, sir. One of the major differences between a rural area police and urban area police is that urban area police is active in the night time. Rural area policing is also active. Not that the rural area police does not work in the night, but it's very nominal, very, very, very nominal. Largely speaking, in villages, there is no police movement in the night time. In the small towns, there may be little movement. It's only in the cities you will have proper policing happening in the night time also. So this night safety, odd hour safety is one thing we started focusing on. Second was effective surveillance and monitoring of crime hotspots. Sir. Now, this is very important, sir. Urban areas have higher crime all across the world, not just in Andhra Pradesh or in India, but across the world. Urban areas have much higher crime rate than rural areas. That's a given. It's a normal fact of sociology. So we needed to, the crime prevention in urban areas has to be analytical, and it has to be based on analysis of the crime pattern. So we started crime hotspot analysis, which is to say that we mapped out the crime from the database, last 5 years crime, and we identified certain crime hotspots, and then we had specific interventions and strategies for crime prevention and monitoring, surveillance over those hotspots. In fact, if the hotspots are controlled, sir, in any urban area, sir, if the hotspots of crime hotspots are controlled, overall crime in the city comes down, because not every place in the city has equal crime. It's not so. Only certain hotspots are there where crime happens, and from it emanates and spreads to other areas. So you will have certain colonies, certain areas, certain persons who do this. So this is again a feature of urban policing, which is not there in rural policing. So this also we introduced. And then women's safety, of course, sir. Again, when we talk of urban policing, when we talk of city policing, safety of women becomes very, very paramount. It has to be, women have to feel safe, sense of security has to be there, police response has to be fast in case of emergency involving a woman, as well as public places have to be safe. Women have to feel safe roaming around in night times, roaming around in all the places, all the parts of the city. So that was the third aspect. And then road safety and traffic management. So this is again a common experience. Rural policing has very little traffic components, sir. Only the regular policemen from the police station, they will go do some traffic regulation in the peak time, and otherwise they will not be a dedicated traffic management wing. Whereas in urban policing, dedicated traffic management is required, and we wanted to take that to the highest possible level here in Kurnool. Because it was in a very unsatisfactory shape. So these are the 4 pillars on which we focus, sir, with the idea that we have to introduce this urban standard of policing in Kurnool, the city standard, the metropolitan standard of policing in Kurnool right now. So basic things were done, sir. Basic things were done. We firstly increased for the night and odd hour safety. We increased the night patrols. There were 13 patrols in Kurnool city when we launched this project. We increased it up to 42, sir, almost tripled. We tripled the number of night patrols. So obviously we had to prioritize this. We had to draw manpower from other places. We had to save manpower. We had to cut down some non-essential duties. We had to really manage, because it has to be all managed within the existing manpower. We don't get anything from outside. So with a lot of detailed exercise and commitment, we were able to ensure that the number of patrolling teams, night patrolling teams, increased from 13 to 42. As a result, the emergency response time came down, sir. So for a dial 100 call or a dial 112 call, the emergency response time came down from 11 to 5.7 minutes. This is monitored daily in our control room. And this was one metric that we were particularly working around, sir. And then also the total crime really came down as a result of this intervention. So it took a few months for it to stabilize. But the total reported crime in Kurnool city, sir, this is not the district, not the entire Kurnool district. Again, I emphasize. In Kurnool city, the total crime reported came down from 3,600 to 2,200 approximately in 6 months' time. Again, sir, the challenges are many. We had to manage from within the existing resources. Again, we are being ambitious. We are being aspirational here. We want Kurnool to be, we want to make Kurnool like a vibrant city, and we want that standard of policing here. But of course, we have to do within the existing resources. So that is what the main challenge was. And all these things, crime hotspots, monitoring, nighttime safety patrolling, all this had to be done in a very, very systematic manner. Again, here also the capacity building initiatives helped us, sir. So that training, the Tata training that we gave, it helped our constables to make use of fingerprint scanners. It helped them to make use of enterprise search. So the constable who's on patrol, he is now empowered to check the person's fingerprints on the spot. He is now empowered to run the criminal database and see that if the suspect person has any previous cases on him or not. So that way we were able to benefit from the added capacity in this as well. Oh, of course, I had to personally move around in the night because we had to determine the crime hotspots, and we had to see where the crime is maximum. And even so far as the women safety aspect is concerned, so we focused really on the download of Disha app. So there is an app we have in Andhra Pradesh Police, which is an emergency response app. So women can press a button on that or even shake their phones 5 times in emergency, and we get alert, and our people go and respond to that emergency response. So we undertook a door-to-door survey, and the entire municipal area was covered, and we installed that app on the phones of the maximum cell phone users, women in the Kurnool city. More than 90% of women cell phone users, smartphone users in Kurnool city today have that app downloaded. And if they're in any kind of emergency, they can immediately alert us, and we respond to that. Regarding traffic management also, sir, we undertook a lot of initiative. As I told you, again, this had to be done within the overall existing manpower in the district. So I had to pull some manpower from the rural areas and deploy it here. Traffic wing also, the number was very limited. There was hardly 60-65 people in the traffic wing in Kurnool city. So I increased it to 120, sir, almost. We doubled it. So we had to obviously cut down at other places, but we doubled it. And the number of patrolling, the number of traffic points. So in traffic management, each spot where a traffic man is deployed is called a traffic point. So the number of traffic points was also very limited. There were hardly 14 traffic points in a city of 6.5 lakh people. So with added manpower, we increased the number of traffic points also from 14 to almost 40. We again was able to increase it more than twice, thrice almost. And choke points were identified. Sir. We got new kits. Today, Kurnool traffic police people have completely new kits and a very different appearance. We have given them a totally different kit. I'll show you a photograph in that. So they have a nice round hat, which distinguishes them from anybody else, so far as this is concerned. Then also so far as the traffic is concerned, we also introduced a Traffic Mitra portal. Probably not mentioned the link here, sir. Just the way you have that citizen mobile tracking service, we created a portal we call Traffic Mitra. So where everybody in Kurnool city, if they see a traffic violation happening in front of them, they can straight away click the photograph and upload it on Traffic Mitra portal. And we get the photograph and the details. And if it is eligible, we even impose challan. So we have empowered the citizens themselves to also be part of the traffic management of the city through the Traffic Mitra portal. Then, sir, coming back to the night safety, odd hour safety, as I said, the patrolling parties were increased from 13 to 42. A lot of geotagging was done. All the crime database was geotagged, and all the history sheeters, their houses and their activity was geotagged, geomapped. It was uploaded in the criminal database also. Again, I have to refer to Project Tata here, sir, because all the history sheeters and suspect persons, their details were not being uploaded in the database. And if they're not uploaded in the database, then the constable who is searching, he will not find their details there. So it becomes useless to have a database which is not updated properly. So here also the Project Tata really helped us in terms of updating these criminal databases for Kurnool city at least. That's what was done as a part of that, sir. Disha app, as I told you, almost 6,11,000 Disha apps were downloaded. We even got the men to download the Disha app, the women safety app, because even men can be in emergency, or if they see somebody in emergency, they can also alert the police. We have a Mahila police component here, sir. We did a door-to-door survey. We got the Disha app downloaded. We even tried to identify if there are any domestic abuse cases which are not being reported, or somebody suffering gravely in some situation. So this door-to-door survey was conducted to give bharosa, to give confidence to the people. Traffic wing, as I said, sir, the traffic wing strength was increased from 58 to 126, the exact figure. You can see that the new jackets also, the new uniform sort of a thing is given. These people are the night patrolling staff. These radium jackets were given to them, this white color jackets. They have a distinct look. So now when they roam around in the Kurnool city in the night time, from long distance you can see them. And they're visible quite easily from a long distance. We also had a benchmarking route. So this is something innovative we did, which was not done in other places. So from one north end of the Kurnool city to the south end of the Kurnool city, covering all important points, we made a benchmark route, and we ran a civilian vehicle on that route and calculated the benchmark time. How much time it is taking from going to the south end of the city from the north end of the city. That became our benchmark time. Slowly, because of better traffic management, more number of traffic men and more number of traffic regulation points, that benchmark time also came down. We were able to significantly ease the congestion of movement within the Kurnool town. You can see, sir, we had these new motorcycles also. Those motorcycles, we gave them new logos, new design. This was launched to ensure that people feel confident. Again, Traffic Mitra, I spoke about Traffic Mitra, that it is a portal where people can go and complain or report about traffic violations, or even request for traffic regulation. So that also, again, gives people a sense of participation in their own cities' policing. We also undertook a special drive for installation of CC cameras. A lot of old CC cameras were there, sir, which were not working, so we got them repaired. And we even created a portal for patrolling requests. So Kurnool Safe City portal was created, where people could log on and again tell us that in my area in Kurnool, there is antisocial elements, there is eve teasing, there is open drinking, there is gambling, or there is some other antisocial activity. And we started doing patrolling in those points. So, sir, we have so far, in fact, got 6,500 patrolling requests through Kurnool Safe City portal. Again, prior to this, people had no channel to reach us with regard to this. They had to go to the police station, or they'll come to the SP's office with a complaint. But now nothing of that sort is required. People can go to the Kurnool Safe City portal and simply log in and just place a request there for police patrolling in night time, daytime, anytime, and we respond to that. In the door-to-door surveys that we conducted through the Mahila Police for women's safety, we identified many issues. Many issues were identified and they were resolved. Almost 474 issues were identified. 382 were already resolved. And all these antisocial elements whose record was prepared, they were also, with the cooperation of Revenue Department, they were also bound over under Criminal Procedure Code for good behavior. Surety bonds were enforced on them. Almost more than 1,000 bad characters were bound over under Criminal Procedure Code with security bonds. We even sent 14 people for preventive detention, sir. So 14 people Worst 14 people who we found were creating nuisance in the city, especially at night time, harassing women, selling drugs to minors. Those people also we identified, and 14 such people were sent under Preventive Detention Act or the Gunda Act into the preventive detention. So all these set of actions, all these are related actions. Ultimately, all with the intention of improving our performance on these 4 parameters: night safety, odd hour safety, women safety, crime hotspot surveillance, and traffic management. So that these 4 pillars on which, if we improve, the standard of policing in Kurnool can be said to have improved to the level, or at least aspire to improve to the level of a city policing. There was significant improvements in all the parameters. Already I've mentioned 13 teams, only 13 patrols in the night earlier, now 42. Emergency response time coming down from 11 minutes to 5.7. Actual property offenses, thefts and housebreakings and burglaries has gone down drastically, sir. In the 6 months prior to this program, 326 thefts and housebreakings were reported, sir. And in the 6 months after this program, only 183. This is a drastic reduction. It's almost halved, sir. Because night time, when we have doubled and tripled the night patrolling, so it is quite, of course, it's expected also that we will have this benefit, but dropping down to half is a very good result, sir. In the course of deployment, then every night we are also picking up these antisocial elements, sir. So in the 6 months now, almost 5,000, more than 5,000 people have been picked up for antisocial elements in petty cases. So petty cases is very important. When we see somebody drinking, we don't allow them to just continue, we pick them up. When we see somebody loitering around in residential areas unnecessarily, we don't just allow them there, we pick them up. And we book petty cases. We don't book serious criminal cases on everyone, but we book petty cases on them. So we have booked petty cases on more than 5,000 people in these 6 months to make sure that our streets, our public spaces stay safe and stay decent and stay dignified. Patrolling points, as I mentioned, so we geotagged the entire crime database and we increased the number of patrolling points from 102 to 537. We have now covered outskirt areas also, which are totally outskirts of the city, where it will take another few years for the city to develop in that direction. Those points also are now covered in our patrolling. So in that sense, we are contributing to the development of the city. Crime against women under all heads has come down from, again, 400 to 238. This is only Kurnool city, sir, not the Kurnool district. So 400 under all heads. All heads means 498A, 354 IPC, 320, 324 IPC, all these different heads of crime, which we call crime against women. Those crimes cumulatively have come down from 400 to 238 in the 6 month period. Road accident cases, because of better traffic management within Kurnool urban, road accident cases have come down from 378 to 257. And then traffic thing I've already told, sir, has been expanded. Traffic Mitra, the portal where citizens can report traffic violations. More than 4,000 requests we have received so far, sir. So basically, this is what the idea is, that this is not a single thing. Kurnool Safe City is not a very, it's not a single work. It's an umbrella project. It's an umbrella project which aspires to raise the total standard of policing in Kurnool to the level of a metropolitan city. So we have, with that aspiration, we continue to work towards this, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I wish that even after you have promoted or you are moved out of the department, this outstanding work goes on. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
No specific questions, sir. Thank you. Good work.
Thank you.